Welcome to Busy Bee Woodworking. Here we're building a learning tower for kids that kind of help in the kitchen instead of doing the old school like we used to when we were growing up, flipping a chair around. This is just a little bit more of a safer way so the kids can help you out and you don't have to worry about them falling. So what I did is I just went ahead and drilled some pilot holes after I cut the pieces. For some cutouts on the sides. The top is pretty much like a handle to position the tower into place so the child can help you out. And the bottom two cutouts you'll see later on, that's where your hands can actually come underneath the standing platform, and you can raise it or lower it according to the child's age and size. So. And I want to also say, when you're using a jigsaw, be very careful when you're making your cuts. Below the piece that you're working on, you always have to remember that that blade is completely exposed. There's no guard, so always be aware where your hands are and where your body is in according to that blade. Um, if you're not as experienced as well with this tool, go ahead and definitely clamp down this piece. I kind of left it so I could pivot it and move it around, but that little extra step can save fingers in the long run. Uh, this project, though, by itself, though, really, you can do a lot of this without having that many tools. Pretty much, you could do it with a regular old circular saw instead of my table saw that I used in the beginning to cut the pieces, and a straight edge, and a jigsaw, drills. I would recommend though going out and buying the Kreg um, jig, and you'll see that later on comes in pretty handy when assembling this whole thing together. So here it's really important to make sure that your uh, your piece here is going to be level, and when you make these cuts, that it's going to be uh, translate over to the other pieces and be in line, because you want to make sure that your platform is nice and level, and this is the key piece to it. So I use my square to square up this piece to that top block, um, and then I kind of played around where until I found what level I kind of wanted it at, and went ahead and I translated this piece here to all the other sides. So it's a quick, simple jig, but it really saves a lot of time than trying to measure out each individual one of these and hoping by the end of it that you're not off. So um, I'd recommend making that jig there for sure. And now where the dowel will drop in to lock the platform into place, I just made another little quick reference piece here. It's about a half inch in width, and I knew I was going to use a 1 inch dowel, so I let it give a little bit of play, but I kind of wanted it to also tightly sit in there so it doesn't bounce out or anything like that. So, you could have added that to the original jig. I did it afterwards just because it was a little bit easier, I felt, to do a full layout. So. And these are the rails that we cut earlier. I went ahead and I drilled with the Kreg jig here to be able to attach them to the two walls of the tower. I put 3 in the 2 base rails and then 2 in the 2 smaller top rails. I actually also came back and I cut down about another 4 inches off of my base rail. So when the kids climb in, it'll be a little bit easier. So I didn't shoot that, so I just wanted to make sure I'll let you guys know about that. And then I just took my trim router with the round over bit and then just rounded all the edges except for the base of the tower itself. And then for the rails, I just rounded over the tops and the bottoms and left the sides as well, not rounded, because those are going to be attached into this wall here with the Kreg jig. So I didn't shoot attaching actually the walls to the rail, but all I did was I used the Kreg clamp on there and then put the screws in and made sure it was level and across. So I'm going to be doing a lot of sanding. We use that jigsaw, and it's just difficult to get a clean cut with that. So I tested it out before I was finally finishing there, making sure it was good to go with my daughter. And then went ahead and cleaned it up even more. You can see there's some paint coats on there, but it was really time to clean it up. And this is the base of the tower that the kids stand on. I just drilled simple pilot holes to attach it with some screws. And I used a 1-inch dowel that I cut the size. It actually overhangs 3/4 of an inch to insert into those little notches. Went ahead and clear coated that and painted the tower. There's a shot of that. So in between here, I was sanding in between some of my paint coats because I started getting some drips on it. But and here it is with the all finished. Kids checking it out, making sure it works all nice. That way I know when the clients get it, it'll be good to go. So once again, thank you for all your support out there. I really appreciate it. And if you could, just go ahead and hit the subscribe and like button to the channel. Thanks again. Thanks for buzzing by.